But to build a Discord takes a long time, and you should start sooner than later. You know, Full Send should have a Discord, or just Hornycorns, fucking chill out Discord. You know, just build your own Discord. I said that to MultiGP. I was like, why are you promoting Velocitron's Discord? You know, MultiGP needs a Discord channel that you are operating. They're like, you're right. I feel so stupid. And now they've got a huge, successful Discord channel.
Oh, did I just kill my computer? Nope, it's okay. Definitely killed the timer a little bit. God, that's nice. Volume mixer. What's that? Oh, band's gone. About 5 minutes left. And then we'll take... I know they can hear us, so...
What's up, you early people? We should give them some kind of a pre-show. There's a few people joining me. I mean, I can tell my new favorite joke. I might have already told it here, because I've been just telling everybody I know. But what did Sean Connery say to the bearded hostage?
I have no idea.
He said, "I've been sent here to shave you."
Oh, jeez. So we might be a little bit laggy, but that's okay.
No problem. Oh, we got comments coming in.
That joke gives my beard anxiety problems.
Nice.
Well, you know, my favorite joke ever is what do you get when you cross hell and a rhino?
Well, if I know. But I heard it was what do you get when you cross an elephant and a rhinoceros? And then you just say elefino.
Yeah, that's
they both work.
Innocent way to say it.
Yeah, they both work. It's like my grandma told me the joke. I'm gonna botch it if I try. I just realized I don't know the whole setup. I just know the punchline. You know how I can remember the punchline only, and you start to tell a joke, you just botch the whole. That's me just now.
Yep, I've been there. I got a good one for you. Where do dads keep all their dad jokes?
Where?
in their database.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. I was wondering if it was going to be a twist where it was actually not a dad joke, but a severely inappropriate joke, which is the kind of thing you would normally drop out of nowhere. But I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I've got one. What a good Halloween one is. What's scary and buzzes? Boobies.
I love how the setup actually has nothing to do with boobs.
I know, it's great.
You need to mix that into the beginning. All right, I'm just like. Did you know that 10 plus 10 and 11 plus 11 are actually the same thing? Because 10 plus 10 is 20, and 11 plus 11 is 22. That was a generous laugh for that joke.
No, that's cute. So to our Facebook users, if you go to chat.restream.io or .com/FB for Facebook, we can then see your name and your picture in the chat. But
Ooh,
I'd
fancy.
just be Facebook user is all you're gonna get. Good old Facebook user. Oh, 1 minute left. 1 minute left. I better turn the lights off so
Oh,
that the track lights up here. I got my disco lights going. There we go. Got one light. There we go. That way when I'm standing out here.
Oh, nice. Little light on your face. See, you actually are paying attention. All right, hey, we're getting ready to go live. Get ready.
Oh.
I mean,
Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I can't see anything because I got blind by the light. There we go. All right. Here we are.
what's up, everybody? Here we are back at Tiny Whip headquarters. And if I don't know which direction it actually is on the screen, one of these directions, full send FPV, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to go ahead and say the two most fabulous, spectacular Tiny Whoop environments on the planet right now, sharing the same stream. I'm just kind of realizing that right now. The most fabulous places to fly Tiny Whoops, sharing a stream, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? And look, we even got a view of Dave walking around. I'm looking at the stream like 30 seconds in the past on my other monitor. That's cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are looking at the Full Send FPV Whoop Wars Battleground race course on the right side of your screen. Designed in Tiny Whoop Go by my name is Jeff, one of my favorite pilots in all of Tiny Whoop. And this is him doing a smooth flight on the course here, and anybody can try it out right now. In fact, I was just saying to Dave, I might host a multiplayer in the next couple days so we can all chill out and practice the course together before the big event, because we are getting ready for one of the biggest micro drone Tiny Whoop events that has ever taken place, right, Dave?
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, we're shooting for 96 pilots. We're 3/4 of the way sold out, so we do have a little about 36 left for people. So definitely trying to get that last push, see if we can really max it out.
Yeah.
Colorado's been approved for, we are COVID clear now, so masks are not required if you've been vaccinated. And you know, if you want to protect yourself, we're not going to, you know, fault you for that, or protect your family members while you come out, but we definitely want to encourage everybody We have not only our indoor space here, but we also have a space right next door to us that's twice the size of this, just to be able to hang out with my man here, Jesse Perkins. He's going to be
What's
down
up?
hosting our quad games, which is going to be kind of line of sight stuff. You know, Jesse, he loves playing the fun whoop games. That's one of my favorite things to do. So if you've ever been able to hang out with him, that's going to be an opportunity to do. So
Yeah, I mean, that's what I really want to get out of it. I'm a little bummed that I'm not going to be participating in the race, even though we all know tons of the pilots showing up would easily destroy me on the race course. I got no problem admitting that, but I get to make a ton of new friends at this event. That's why I'm looking forward to it for the most, because I get to just chill out in the space next door. I'm going to be setting up a few of my decorations. I can't bring the whole shop, but I'm going to try to bring some parts of it to set up and just do some whatever kind of games we can play that don't involve using up the radio channels during this epic Tiny Whip event, because they're going to be running heat after heat after heat next door in the main room where you see Dave standing right there, hosting this epic Tiny Whip event on the Full Send FPV course. They're at Full Send headquarters. I mean, look at that. and you know, everybody in the Tiny Whip group has seen footage come out of this room over the years. It's like an epically famous Tiny Whoop environment at this point. Yeah, check it out. It's got a super tall ceiling, lots and lots to explore up there. And yeah, like I said, we've all seen footage come out of this room for years. A lot of us have seen Evil Monkey, T-Dog flies there. The entire Colorado posse makes a pilgrimage down to Full Send FPV where they can to fly this epic course. And that's why this has become such a big event, because you've got a course that really embodies the fantastic psychedelic nature of the Tiny Whoop vibe, just like you see in some of those Full Send gates behind you and all of the moving lights. It's like the kind of thing, imagine if we could one day do this for mini quad. It's pretty much like DRL quality courses times a billion. It would take so much financial backing to create a course like this for mini quad, but for Tiny Whoop, a few of us have been able to put together these incredibly spectacular events, and that's like an amazing experience to fly through. When it comes to a course like what you see behind Dave at Full Send right there, the experience of flying the course is the gift itself. I mean, it's one thing to win the event, and there's a lot of glory built up in this event for Whoop Wars Battleground at this point, but the experience of simply flying on this course really is a special treat. And you know, you're about to give that gift to 96 pilots. I was saying to Dave before this event, or before they launched this event, I was like, first of all, you know, 96 pilots, that is so many people. You're taking on, like, you're pretty much taking on the biggest Tiny Whoop event that's ever happened. Are you sure you want to do that? And the answer from Full Send over and over was, yes, we do. We want to host the biggest Tiny Whoop party, the biggest Tiny Whoop event that's happened so far, and they're going for it. Like you said, they're 3/4 of the way sold out, and right before the pandemic, the entire Tiny Whoop community was really getting into traveling to events and moving around the country to like get to know the Tiny Whoop community and go to experience on the road Tiny Whoop lifestyle, which is like where I've been living for a few years. It's the most fun in the world when you're when you know, you've got this race that you're traveling to with a couple of bros. First of all, you come out of it completely different person than you went in, not just because of the friendships and relationships you formed, but when you get some time on a course like this, you're just a different pilot coming out of it. But yeah, like I say, Tiny Whoop travel culture was a big deal right before the pandemic hit, and I was helping promote it and offering travel blog prizes, and like we had that incredible time down at Whooptopia, another one of the big annual events. But then the pandemic happened, and now we're finally at the place where we're coming out of the lockdown, and we don't have to wear a mask indoors if you're vaccinated nowadays. And that is amazing. I mean, Like I got kind of lucky and got an early vaccination because I was just calling everybody and asking for the no waste waiting list. You know, I got on like a dozen lists and then was able to get an early vaccination before my age group was up. And ever since then, I am just, I mean, I have had so much fun online with the sim communities over the last year, but in person, it's so much better, you know, and just to sit down with your friends or make new friends at a tiny event, it is like a gift that I will never again take for granted. So Dave, on behalf of the community, thank you so much for putting together an event like you are at Whoop Wars Battlegrounds Denver, right there at Full Send FPV. It is a treat. I mean, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Now it's less than 2 weeks away. I mean, it's prep time. We're releasing the courses and you see it playing right. I think I'm pointing in the right direction. Like, there's the course, there's Dave, there's another Dave, and the whole Full Send thing. But, yeah, man, I am so excited for this event. And, you know, people have been asking me, what kind of games am I going to be hosting next door? And I haven't decided all the way. I know that I'm bringing balloons for the balloon hat gate thing that I love to do. Because I'm really good at whipping up not balloon animals, but balloon hat gates, where you're wearing a gate on your head while you're hanging out. But the main game that I love to play is just, it's just sort of pass the transmitter game of quad, game of iGow, game of horse, you know, where I'm like sitting there with a line of sight quad and I'm holding the transmitter and I'm like, okay, here it is. Here's the trick you guys got to do. And it's just like some pals standing around. Nobody's even got goggles on, so it's even more social, you know, because it's just line of sight. So I fly like, or usually I start by just throwing the quad, catching it in the air in angle mode, flying around some little thing and doing a maneuver, and then I just hand my quad and my transmitter to the next person that I'm hanging out with, which could be you, which would be you, you know, show up and come and hang out with me. And we'll do all kinds of little games like that. I'll be contributing some prizes. I wouldn't be surprised if Full Send or other people contribute some prizes, or at least like maybe minor discounts. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's all about the glory. Don't show up, at least, I mean, there's big prizes going on at the event all around, but in terms of my little games, come by. The reward is actually just hanging out and chilling out. There's going to be little things. I'm going to toss batteries around. I'll give sets of propellers out, little stuff like that. But really, it's just an excuse to have fun and hang out next door while everybody's cranking out heats at the main race with all those pilots.
Yeah, and that's, you know, let's talk a little bit about race format, you know, so people, you know, I think that was one of the biggest things people freaked out about. Is they're like, oh my gosh, you're going to try and do 96 pilots. How is that even possible? Well, I think not only with the help of Hydra FPV, which Taylor Worthington unfortunately wasn't able to join today, but with the help of the Hydra FPV app and how we're going to be connecting all the pilots into Hydra, you're really only having to be here at the shop for about a 2 to 2.5 hour period for your qualifying day, which is Saturday. Sunday will be the mains for solo racing, and then Monday will be team racing, and we're going to hopefully have some special pilots to be able to team up with team racing, which will kind of be like a mini mayhem style, where it's going to be, you know, however many laps you can get in a 30-minute period for your team or something to that effect. We're still working out the exact details on that.
Of course, yeah. Crowdsource those details, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. See what everybody's feeling, but yeah, 96, so you really technically only have that small section of time that you've got to be in here racing. The rest of the time, we're going to have some 5-inch freestyle at a park not more than a quarter mile away. We're also going to have some 5-inch freestyle going down in Golden, as well as the Denver Tech Center. So if you don't want to hang out at the shop and you want to go rip your 5-inch quad, we're going to have a group of local pilots out at those locations to kind of show you the Colorado area, what's good to rip, what things, so you don't have to worry about it. Bring all your stuff, bring your family. It's Memorial Weekend, so why not, you know, have a lot of fun. The wives shouldn't be too bored because it's Colorado. I mean, send them up with the kids to the mountains while you whoop for 2 hours, you know? Should be super easy.
Yeah, man. I mean, and like I said in a previous live stream, if you've never had the opportunity to come to Colorado and surf a mountain in your 5-inch, come and do it. Just trust me, it's epically beautiful, and I feel so lucky to actually, you know, the only reason I'm in Colorado is because I have family here. I love my family very much. But I feel so lucky that it happened to be Colorado, this place where we've got the Rocky Mountains right there. You know, I could see them out
Yep.
the window right there. The epic, unbelievable Rocky Mountains, the kind of vast wilderness that you can't even find in the old world, and we're surrounded by it in the United States. And here we are in Colorado with the Rocky Mountains, surfing the mountains in the Poudre Canyon, in the Big Thompson Canyon, in Red Feather Lakes. That's where Jordan Temkin made a name for himself as a cinematography, aircraft pilot, surfing those mountains, and it's a really special experience. But if you don't feel like going out to fly your mini quad, and you don't feel like surfing the Colorado Rockies, you can just chill out with me next door and play some Tiny Whoop games, or just get to know each other, chill, or just casual hangout. So I think it's a really well put together event. It's going to go off flawlessly. It's run by my man Dave right here, and he is on point and cares about this community in a very real way, in a way that is, it's just special to come across. And that's the reason I'm here supporting it. I'm not any real part of this event other than I'm helping host stuff next door. And the only reason I'm doing that or any of this is because Full Send FPV is a special member of the Tiny Whoop community. There's some people in this community that are trying to get rich and have no problem trying to take advantage of the newbies in the Tiny Whoop community. Lots of bigger companies are acting like that. Full Send is not one of those people, and I will always support what they do because of that. It's a really, I love what you guys do down there. And I was just texting with T-Dog a second ago. He was like, "Hey, I heard you were playing some Minecraft with Dave," and I was like, "Yeah, I played a little bit a couple days ago, yeah." But I mean, it's just the reason that he had any information about that is because you guys are hosting events there all the time. You guys have a solid local community, a family of pilots that hang out there, and to me, that's what the Tiny Web community is all about. Obviously, we all really care about flight, but the Full Send family is a special crew of people that you guys should all meet. And I hope that everybody comes to Denver, gets to hang out with me and the Full Send posse, gets to stop by Whoop House. I know Whoop House is like an Airbnb nearby. We obviously can't have all 96 pilots at once, but we're trying to have some people over for the social side of things. We're gonna be like ordering pizzas and having a great time over there. It's gonna be some late night stuff. So the after hours, that's where the real meat of the culture tends to happen. But the Full Send experience kind of mixes that in with the actual race because it's all casual, it's all Tiny Whoop style flying, and that's my favorite stuff. So yeah, I just want to really invite anybody who's wanting to get one of these last tickets for Whoop Wars Battlegrounds Denver to grab one of those tickets. Like I say, they're about 3/4 of the way sold out, and there's still tickets left for the event happening in just under 2 weeks. What are those dates again, Dave?
So it's going to be the 28th or 29th, 30th, and 31st. Yeah, so Saturday,
Memorial
Sunday,
Day weekend, with the team race happening Monday.
Yep.
And there's some people coming to town that are even like staying Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, I got some friends. I mean, the people that are traveling are like the people that love the Tiny Whoop community. We're trying to get extra stuff. So like there's a few extra people I'm hanging out with. Later in that week, we're going to be making some content together. That should be really fun. There's just a ton of fun happening in Colorado, and I hope that everybody that can make it out there gets out here. Not everybody's vaccinated right now, but if you're watching this video and you are vaccinated, you should kick around the idea of coming on over to Denver, stopping by Full Send, and hanging out with me and the guys for this epic, gigantic event.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be absolutely amazing. Jesse, one of the biggest reasons I got into whooping in the first place is how fun you made it and how fun the community has always made it. I've been doing RC for 13 years, and I have not found a more welcoming, accepting community of RC enthusiasts than really quads and whoops.
Really?
If you got a broken part, you know, a guy's gonna throw you that part. You don't necessarily find that in surface racing. You know, it's a little bit more like, well,
No.
my part, I don't want to give it to you because then you could
Yeah,
beat me.
what is up with that? But it feels like with, I know what you're saying. And another, like I love to climb personally, but the climbing community also often feels kind of nichey, cool kids and uncool kids. And the FPV community, and particularly the Tiny Whip community, just isn't like that because we all learned from mentors. I learned from a mentor. You had a personal mentor that sat down with you, and I don't even know who it is, but every single person in the Tiny Whip community, which is now approximately 34,000 people on Facebook, they all had mentors, and they're all wanting to be your mentor. Like I've said, the Tiny Whip community is special because it's a Facebook group packed with 30,000 people jamming the refresh button as fast as they can so they can be the first one to answer your question. You know, that's a really special vibe that we're lucky to have. And yeah, that's sort of what I'm saying. Full Send embodies that. The posse over there in the crowd, it's extremely positive. And don't you love hanging out at an event when there's just no bad egg there? There's nobody who's having a bad day bringing people down. That's a special experience, damn it. That's like exactly where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
No.
100%, yep. That's how I feel too.
Yeah. So we should watch the chat, man, because we are getting stuff coming in the chat, and I'm trying to pay attention to it. Gotta pay closer attention.
I can scroll up here.
Yeah, so the people asking if it's on the sim, yeah, you can see it's on both of the major sims right now, Drone and Tiny Whip Go. The track is available on either one. If you've got either one of those, you can fly. If you don't have either one of them, Tiny Whip Go is free to download right now. You can fly this course and a billion other courses totally free, $0, no catch at all. And I think that's one of the reasons these guys put it on both sims, was so that you don't have to have any money. All you need is a transmitter or an Xbox controller, a little dinky thing like this, or my Xbox controller is not here, but everybody's got one with their PC, and you can start flying this course and getting to know it right now, and you can kind of see it right there on the side. And this is a flight by one of my favorite pilots. My name is Jeff. That's Jeff West. Chilling in Tiny Whip Go on the Full Send Whoop Wars Battlegrounds course, and you can find that course on Tiny Whip Go going to tracks. Click browse and go down to Full Send. Go down to Full Send FPV and choose the Whoop Wars Battleground course. Add that to your favorites, and then it'll pop up on your track selection screen, and you can just get right into flying, or host a multiplayer and fly against some of your friends. Do like a casual chill out session, getting to know the course as you prepare for the big event. That's the kind of thing I'm going to try to do later this week. I can't say for sure during the stream that I'm going to be able to pull that off, but I'm thinking later this week I'll make a big post in the Tiny Whip group. Obviously I'll share it to the Full Send posse and all of that, and make sure that everybody's aware. I'm going to be hosting a few people to just hang out in the Full Send FPV course on Tiny Whip Go and do some practice flying. And I'm thinking maybe it would even be a good idea to sort of break down the course into a few different exercises that would really make people think about training in a more serious way. I'm all about focusing on exercises, creating course features that I can kind of know as muscle memory, and then stringing them together into a singular ribbon. That's what a lot of the pilots, that's how they look at these courses. So it's going to be a great way to handle this course.
I have no problem too that if somebody like Jeff West, for instance, did actually set the course up in real life at his local gym. So if you want a copy of the course and dimensions of our floor, just send us a message on our Full Send page, and I will send you a general idea of the course layout so you can build it at home. But honestly, like from my experience, Tiny Whip Go is the best way to really experience the track, because not only are the physics the most accurate, but it really is a true to feeling layout of the space in here, because we do have a little bit of odd walls and things jut out, so you got to know where your pits are going to be, whatnot. Let me actually flip the camera over here real quick, and I'll just kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea. So when you're looking at the Jeff West video, the start finish is going to be basically here, where this gate is. So this will be turned just a little bit more to this direction. You're going to head towards this wall. As you head out of the start-finish gate, you're going to go up into what I call the We Bleed Tunnel. So this is Jeff Grabowski, We Bleed FPV, has hooked us up with these gates here. So you're going to fly down this tunnel. You're going to hit what we call the wall ride, which is this red box here on the wall. After you head out of the wall ride, you're going to take a hard right turn. And I don't have all the gates here, but there's going to be 4 We Bleed gates right here. So 4
When I
running
saw
up.
that part in the sim, you could see it's green and pink in the sim where you slalom these gates.
So you're going to slalom those gates. When you come out of this gate here, you're going to head all the way across the track, which is about 45, 50 feet away to this object here against the garage door. We're going to slide it over just a little bit so you have a little bit more room. You don't fly into the garage door, but you're going to whip around that guy. You're going to come back towards me to what I call the stripper pole. So this is our center pole of the building. You're just going to hit those 2 bottom gates there. You're going to coil down. You're going to hit the drop down, which is going to be on the ground down here, kind of about this little spot. And then after you come out of that drop down, you're going to hit these 2 gates here. When you come out of those 2 gates, we're going to have something new that you guys have yet to see, but it's kind of where this guy is positioned, is that what I call the missile shooter.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that one. I'm anxious to see that thing in real life.
So we'll have the missile shooter. I had Jeff build it so you guys get the idea of how you're going to fly that. So the first is going to be a split S, and then you're going to come to the right-hand side. So where the next gates here would be a Jacob's ladder climbing up. And then to what I call, affectionately called, Cock Tower. So it's a little dirty here, but the Clock Tower is always a fun little gate. So you're going to Jacob's ladder this guy down, okay? After you come out of this guy, it's going to be heading back to the start-finish gate.
Nice, that's a lap.
So I'm not going to reveal where, but there is going to be a Joker lap available on the track.
Ooh, hello. That is
So
a big
if you
reveal.
Yeah, if you can hit the Joker lap, the Joker lap is going to take half of the track out for you. So there's about, I think when I counted with Jeff West, it's about 30 to 40 gates in total.
Right.
So that's going to cut you down to about 20 gates.
What's the catch?
If you can hit it, it's going to be extremely difficult to hit it. But if you can, you're going to be able to cut so much time off of your
Just guessing, it's probably the kind of situation where the smart move would most of the time be don't try to hit it. If you're in a desperate situation, you need a Hail Mary, just go for it. You know, and possibly make up some ground, possibly upset the ranks with a shot through Joker Lab. I mean, that sounds awesome.
And I'm building it that way so that, you know, as we like to say here, if you're not breaking anything, you're not full sending it hard enough.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to see something be a good challenge, but at the same time offer a sweet reward. So if you can hit that Joker Lab, you're really gonna upset some people. So, you know, I love it. I built it, the track layout, so that we'll have hopefully no mid-airs. Maybe there's a couple areas that there might be a little bit of a potential for a mid-air, but hopefully
fine.
It'll be.
We can watch for traffic. We can be careful and watch for traffic. That's no problem.
So yep, I'm gonna definitely military theme it up in here, so you guys are gonna be blown away with what I bring down here, just to kind of. I know it's a lot of disco and LED and bonkers crazy right now, but I do want to give a little bit more of a military theme to the track, so you will feel that.
Interesting. Okay, I'm kind of curious how you're gonna pull that off. It doesn't feel very military to me right now, but I'm down to check that out. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's classic Whoop style, and the movement on the walls. To me, that's a really special part of Tiny Whoop courses. Is having not necessarily moving course elements, but movement in the lights in the room, like you see on those gates, like you see on the walls. You know, the wall feature, I just want to mention, I think you got that idea from me, is that right?
Oh yeah, when you did that at Whoop
Projection?
House, yeah, when you did that at Whoop House, I was like, I must find and buy like now, like yesterday. And I was
me
gonna go
too.
ham.
I own like a dozen of those things. They're super powerful commercial projectors. And I found out about those. Did I tell you how I found out those things existed? I was chilling out
think so.
at flight test at Edgewater Air Park in Ohio. I was hanging out with the Bixlers and Alex and Stefan, the whole crew over there. And I was building, I installed a permanent tiny whip course at Edgewater Air Park flight test headquarters. And while I was doing that, I went downstairs to the golf course restaurant and hung out down there and had a little cheeseburger. And the woman working behind the counter actually lived in a little house on the golf course. And she mentioned to me that those lights, that she was like getting rid of a couple of them. And I was like, what would you like for them? I was like, I'd buy them. I don't know if I'll use them yet, but I'll buy them. And she said, I can't remember what she said, something like $40 or whatever. 2 of them. And I was like, you got it. I was like, I was thinking in my mind, that's expensive. But I just decided to buy them. I looked them up online later, and there's something like $60 each. I got 2 for $40, and I ended up loving them so much that I bought about 10 more of those units, and that's like my primary, like, bring it, travel with it thing. Because if you want to transform a room, like, I have someone over to my place, and I'll just turn all of them on around the room, and it is like, it is a crazy way to change the way a room feels. So I'll be bringing some of those down for my little chill out next door, and hanging out with the whole crew that's not actively racing. We'll be partying next door. I'll be firing up some of those lights. I'll be setting up some LED gates so that we've got some obstacles to line of sight around. And yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking for next door, for the games next door, is just an excuse to make a ton of friends. You know, because I got about friend making to make up for right now. I got 14 months of friend making that I'm going to do. And one way I'm going to start that off is by chilling out for days at the biggest Tiny Whoop event that I think has ever been attempted to be hosted right there at Full Send FPV. So stop by and hang out with me. Come on. Come on down to Full Send. Hang out with me. The Whoop Wars Battlegrounds. And we'll be chilling out in the... I'll not be at all the after parties, so we'll be doing that. But I'm also at the side party all day long, if we can call it that. I mean, I don't know what we call it. Just sort of a hangout session next door. And I'll be popping in and out of the race because I am drone racing's biggest fan. I am I'm the guy at the mini quad races with binoculars. I'm the guy who's trying to chill out with Joe Scully because he's got such a perspective on the race. So I don't want to miss this. I'm DRL's biggest fan. They know it. I don't want to miss the racing, and I will be there for the racing. But the rest of the time, I'll be there next door trying to hang out with as many people as I can, playing games. Yeah, I'm just trying to watch these comments a little bit because I noticed that...
Check the chat too.
Yeah, there's like comments happening on the Facebook feed, but there's some other comments coming in. They're not on my Facebook feed for some reason. Where are you drawing these comments from, by the way?
So, because we're multi-broadcasting to multiple places, that's why I see it in multiple places.
Cool.
So we're on 2 different Facebook pages, our YouTube, and our Twitch channel. So, most of it's coming in from Facebook, so...
Yep,
but
cool.
Hey, Jeff Grabowski's in there. We gotta say a hi to our Mr. Zotek. We bleed FPV.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have... Let's talk a little bit about sponsors. Like, you know, we haven't mentioned that. Obviously, Tiny Whoop, big sponsor. We Bleed FPV. He's going to be a huge sponsor of us. If you don't know Jeff Grabowski and Zotek, it's like, you know, when people ask me, hey, do you have certain product? I check Tiny Whoop and I check Bleed. Those are the only places I know that are going to have anything we need.
I'm so sorry, I don't mean to speak over you, but I just want to spit out that We Bleed and Jeff Grabowski, my friend, has been a major supporter of the Tiny Whoop movement a long time now. A huge, you know, somebody who cares about the community and wants to find interesting and like insightful ways to support the community, especially during the pandemic. He was a huge influence in holding the community together. We're never going to forget that. So having him as a sponsor of this race, super appropriate. Gigantic thank you, Jeff, if you're still out there. Thank you so much for sponsoring this event, because you're helping bring tons of pilots from around the country to my backyard, down to Denver, just an hour from Tiny Whoop headquarters. And, you know, these are all the people that I've been wanting to hang out with for a year. And now right after I'm vaxxed, they're all coming to me. You know, it's like a dream come true. Thank you so much, Jeff, for sponsoring an event that gives that gift to the entire community and myself. I mean, what a cool thing. So I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to say a personal thank you, because I get a lot out of it.
No, I feel you the same way, Jeff. You know, you really can feel the people, like you were saying earlier, that do really give a shit about the community, and the guys that are just there to make money.
Do that.
And Jeff is just one of those guys that he came out with these We Bleed FPV gates, and he wanted to sell them for literally no profit. And I'm like, dude, we can't do that. You got to have a little bit of profit in there, so that way we're going to make D3. Yep. I know they're all over the place in here. You know, a good amount of my 3D gates still survive, but when one breaks, I just replace it with a We Bleed. So I know he's got some other fun projects in the works, and I cannot wait for that stuff to come live. So definitely keep your eyes on his website for some new products that are coming out. Then we also have another really big exclusive sponsor is going to be GemFam. GemFam is not only going to be sponsoring Whoop Wars Battleground Denver, they're also going to be sponsoring the next 2 events, which I don't know 100% when those are happening, but I do know one's going to be on the East Coast in the New Jersey area. There's also going to be another one, which I'm hoping myself I can try and get to, which is going to be in Minnesota, the Mall of America, up there with Joel and the YDSC crew. That's another, if you haven't checked out those guys, you know, that's going to be another Whoop Wars location. So I'm super excited for that. So definitely stay tuned. You know, we're trying to set the precedence here with Denver. So you'll have a similar experience at each of the locations. You know, that's really our goal, is to create some consistency and to create an event that is not just about racing or, you know, that type of thing, but more of a carnival type event that brings everybody together to celebrate our passion for quads and passion for flying. So, you know, it's for me, it's huge. So GemFam's definitely stepped up. We also have Roof Tech, which is my specific local roofer. I'm a property manager by day, and he's actually been doing a bunch of projects for me, so he's going to be one of our local sponsors. We also have Tasty Tacos, which is a taco truck that's going to be here. We have a barbecue truck, food truck that's also going to be here. So
awesome.
We've got Gold Line, the battery company / backpack company. They're going to be sponsoring. Trying to think of everybody off the top of my head. I'm not the best at that. But yeah, I mean, the list just keeps growing. Each one of these companies is not only contributing to the prize pool for the pilots. We're not, you know, Full Send's not doing anything to, you know, really dig into this. We want to, you know, make this benefit for the pilots. So if you come out and you're in one of that group of 16 pilots, because we're breaking everybody up into classes, and you win first, second, or third place in your class, one of 6 classes, you could be potentially walking away with $500 in cash plus an ass load of prizes. I can't talk about all of them yet, but you know, Gold Line, they made a really nice backpack, so maybe there's some in there. You know, We Bleed, you can't argue. We Bleed's always got these phenomenal gates, so maybe there might be some of that kind of cool stuff in there. I mean, it's the prize bag is going to be big. I'm still pushing these last 2 weeks to get more sponsors on board. I heard a good call from Cadix, so I'm hoping to potentially line up Cadix in that list as well. So yeah, we're just keep pushing, get as much as we can for the pilots, whether it be, you know, prizes for coming out during the solo or team prizes or whatever, you know, trying to make it as fun as possible for everybody.
Not and I love winning prizes. Don't get me wrong, I love it. Everybody loves it. But at an event like this, that's this big and with this caliber of pilots showing up, and it's really bringing the family together. The great prize is the glory of winning this event. In addition to, like I said earlier, experiencing a course like this, that's a reward in its own right, for sure. It is exhilarating. It just makes you open your mouth and smile while you're flying around a course that feels as cool as this one. But the glory of winning has always been, I love it when there's prize pools put together, cash prizes, I'm all about it. But the glory of winning a race that's this big, to me, is way bigger than even the prizes. And I am dying to know who's going to take this one, because the level of skill is considerable. You know, every single event that happens, we have watched the skill level of Tiny Whip pilots rising for 5 years now, five or 6 years now. We've seen pilots getting better and better, and they're not like the same old pilots that were the best ones of the best a couple years ago. They're new pilots coming out of the woodwork. You know, every sim competition, every real life competition, you go there and you're like, who's this new guy who's making an entrance onto the scene that I didn't even know about, but now he's a big name. That's what happens at these events. You know, it's not, I mean, you just watch it happen. You go to an event like this and you...
Yeah, just the people you run into. Like, we're gonna have a G list out here, you know, like... Like, there's a guy from iGal that just murdered, you know, tons of pilots out there. I mean, iGal is...
yeah.
If I could get all the iGal pilots here, that would be amazing.
I know. Well, I did. Yeah, you got some of them. I just gave Agilis a sponsorship. He just took second place in iGal Season 2, meaning that of about 300 pilots, he came in second place behind Daniel Daylight Walston, another pilot I sponsor, and Daylight has been working for 2 years for that victory, and he made it extremely difficult. And to think that Agilis did it, taking second place, Spit taking third place, and you know, Agilis, I've been a huge fan. I call him Agilis the artist, because his FPV freestyle flow is outstanding. And I love watching him fly. And I've never met him in person. Like, we've hung out on tons of friendly, casual calls during the social isolation solution chat that we created a year ago. We've chilled out. We played a bunch of Among Us together. Agilis and his wife, Nicole, are really good at Among Us. If there's people out there that play that game, those guys are a blast to play with, especially, I mean, whatever. Agilis, I finally get to meet the champ.
I just saw Jeff West. He chatted in the chat there. He wished he could be a part of it. Jeff, just join us on the Denver Discord if you're still out there. You can get us your audio feed there and whatnot, buddy.
Ooh.
Dude, looks like my video is going crappy there. We're getting some.
Not looking too bad.
So, but yeah. Tiny Whip Go, that's where the track's at. Velocidrone, Mr. AK himself from Arizona, who also has designed this year's global qualifier track for multi-GP. If you have not talked with AK or looked at his flying ability, he's nuts. I think he's genetically modified to be able to fly whoops better than me, and it's not fair.
Outstanding pilot from Arizona. He's hosted and won the last several Whooptopias. And it's got an awesome team of people working down there around one of my other favorite small businesses in the tiny Whooposphere. I love the guys over at Rec Drones, you know. But yeah, AK is a very, very skilled pilot and an incredibly skilled course designer. Made the course in Velocidrone, so if you already have Velocidrone, you can go there right now, fly the course right away, get right into it. Like I was saying, same with Tiny Whip Go. It's already there. You can download the course and fly right now. And I was seeing someone in the chat. I can't really scroll up on your chat, but I saw somebody got on Tiny Whip Go and started flying the course during this stream, which is really cool. Hey, we got Joe in the chat. Joe Nunes. What's up, Dio GTS? How you doing, dude? Say what's up to Joe. and Joe's lovely wife Sue, who is